Should be going live any second now, and we are. Welcome to another episode of Market Bus, ladies and gentlemen. Markets are ripping, our wallets are green, we're enjoying ourselves. The government shutdown has begun, and Trump is thriving under these market conditions. Market did not care. We did not care. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much for 440 subscribers in the YouTube channel. It's very much appreciated, you guys. We hope to bring you the best information. And yes, welcome to another episode of Market Buzz. Bam, bam, bam. But yes, today's episode, we're planning to touch on a couple of interesting points. Obviously, we're going to be talking about a little bit the government shutdown that we're seeing in markets and how Bitcoin, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are acting up based on the current news and what is happening and what are our expectations. Also going to be talking about Nvidia keeps on pumping. It just doesn't stop. The pump that keeps on pumping. AI continues to beat all expectations.
Yeah.
And the market just doesn't care. We are entering earnings season very, very soon. Now we have just entered the third quarter of the year, I think. Many companies take it like that. So it's like, I think,
Did you say
yeah.
fourth quarter of the year?
No, it's
Third
third
quarter.
quarter.
Oh,
So
earnings.
it's supposed to be the fourth quarter, but many companies take it as the third quarter. And then January is the fourth quarter. And then we're going to talk about the Fed and what they're expecting to do, interest rate decisions, and how what companies can benefit from this. Obviously, we're going to tell you what we are looking at in what's on our desks and the rumors that we're seeing in the markets. But first things first, the government shutdown. Last Wednesday, Mimi, Dimitris, and myself sat down and talked briefly about it just because that's what it was, just a brief comment. It's all it needs to be. It tends to be the that we talk about it. It's like, should we be scared of a government shutdown? And the reality is that no, we shouldn't. Market's gonna look over it just because we're expecting it, and it worked better than I thought. I thought we were gonna be red for a couple of days at least, but ADP data came in very, very weak, obviously, and jobs data continues to sort of like be on the downside, which is a little bit scary because usually you get the top of unemployment at the end of the recession. And so far, we're starting to see sort of that weakness in the unemployment data. But we're not getting any non farm payrolls data or unemployment data by the BLS because they're shut down. They're out of business. The American government is closed down. And this is going to affect how the Fed goes forward with this. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on the shutdown?
Well, I mean, I said last time as well that it'd be a nothing burger. We all agreed on that. Wasn't concerned, not concerned. I mean, the only thing that I'm really focused on, I mean, I'm not a macro specialist or anything, but it's just more about the job starter that will come out. I don't even think that the Fed are really that concerned about inflation either. That's just my take. And then, yeah, how that would affect risk on assets. And at the moment, Bitcoin is pumping, has been pumping. Same with a lot of other tokens. But I think the question on everybody's mind is, what does this mean now? But your question about the government shutdown, not concerned. I'm just
Yeah,
answering that first. Yeah.
that's fair. Timothy, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I like to show you a list of all the times the shutdown happened in the US, of course. The last time was in 2019. Now we have 2025, of course. And yeah, just to show you, like, it happened in the past and it's not the end of the world. If you're going to sell based on this news, I mean, you're selling basically at a loss because eventually the market will recover. Just look at the chart. I mean, where can you see when the shutdown happened? I'm sure nobody can guess, but okay, we had a small correction in 2019, but I mean, eventually stocks trend higher, and that's the point. You have to focus on the business. You have to focus on how companies are doing. Even the economy is still going strong, so we don't really have to worry about like what's gonna happen in 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Maybe we're gonna have a slight dip if the shutdown drags too long, but overall, I would think it's nothing we can overcome. So yeah, pretty confident that this is just a small correction at best, and yeah, a buying opportunity
It didn't even
if
last
there
24
comes one.
hours.
Yeah.
It didn't last even 24 hours. I saw the market on Monday being a little bit red, and it was just like, okay, like this is expected, nothing to worry about. When I check again halfway through the day, it was already green. You know, like we just continue, like we just don't, like the market did not care this time around, and we are expecting minimum fifth, like almost 2 weeks of shutdown here. At least, like poly market is expecting. I think some of the data was saying like, okay, maybe 15 days, maybe a little bit more, right? But the betting markets, which actually predicted the Trump administration before anybody else,
Mm.
so far, I mean, like they're saying probably maybe between the 10th and the 14th, or maybe the 15th and later, right? So I
Yeah.
just don't see this being like so big that it affects. I mean, if we start seeing unemployment, it'll be a different story. If Trump really pulls through the firing of people and 1 million people on the streets, and it could get ugly, right? But so far there's nothing that tells me that we should be worried, right? They're trying to get a deal through. Hopefully they do. At some point or another, they're gonna have to, just because the pain alone hurts the people in power. If you're in power and the government shuts down, it's on you, right? Even Trump said
Yeah.
that at some point. It's the president's fault, but obviously now that he's president, it's everybody else's fault. So, so yeah, that's super interesting. Let me. Well, I don't know if you guys paid attention, because I've been sort of like on Nike for a little bit, right? Just to pay attention. And Nike had earnings on Tuesday. If this was like a hidden thing, right? I don't think many people are paying attention to this, but the effects of tariffs were not strong at all. I mean, they are bouncing off the lows right now. They beat expectations substantially. So the tariffs are not hitting, even as some of the big players are taking into effect here, right? Obviously, Nike's being brought down massively, but I
Yeah.
think the earnings expectations were 27 cents. They came in with 49 cents, and then even revenue came in better than expected, almost by 730 million on top of those expectations. So that tells you, I mean, like the consumer is not as hurt as we really think he is. There is spending all throughout in different sectors of the economy, and hotels, even cruise lines are seeing potential increases in revenue. So I mean, it's been so far the consumer seems to be okay, right? Like it seems the low end consumer is getting really hurt at these levels, but everybody medium to high seems to be benefiting from the current environment. And we'll have to see what AI brings to the table later on. Hopefully, we can get everybody sort of in that medium level to high level.
Are you buying Nike, or have you
I
bought?
bought Nike. I bought Nike in April. I bought Nike
Oh,
at the bottom. I bought Nike because it was like
I
I got. It wasn't a big trade.
yeah.
It wasn't a big trade for me, but it was
Yeah.
just like it got so punished, right? And it was
Yeah.
just like, and like Nike has been dealing with this for a while. Like Nike's not a baby company, you know what I mean? So I was like,
No.
it's not gonna affect. So the moment I understood that it was just like tariffs priced it, the problem with April was that everybody priced in the worst, and we priced in COVID. You know what I mean? I was like, excuse you, like there's no COVID. This is a 10% markup on products. You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
worst case scenario. It's like they'll just figure out where to sell their shoes somewhere else, right? And that's what we're seeing so far. I mean, I'm probably like I wouldn't buy Nike long term, but it was a trade, right? So I'm still in the trade, but I'm paying attention too closely to that. Yeah.
But the
Now,
question is
The
like, why
thing
why
was,
won't you? Sorry. Go.
yeah, the thing was with Nike, like this phase when it dropped all the way from the highs to here in 2022, you had the CEO. Because the CEO was actually doing a bad job. They went too confident. They weren't selling any shoes in like Foot Locker stores. They wanted to go all online, and of course, people still like to go to the mall and yeah, buy
you
shoes.
gotta
So
try shoes.
they
Yeah.
buy other shoes, you know. And
Mm.
yeah, Nike actually did very poorly. Then they got a new CEO who went full how they did before. So Nike went back in the stores, so everything went well. But the earnings, yeah, they missed here. So there was still fear that they had a big problem and it couldn't recover. And yeah, with a downtrend like this, you can imagine traders are just shorting this. But eventually, the sellers get exhausted, and now you are seeing
Yeah.
a short-term uptrend with higher highs and also higher lows. So I do think like this should be the bottom for the next couple of months.
Yeah. Now the
Yeah,
question
I
is
agree.
like, can they continue? Could the tariffs get worse? Sure, but we just seen it like a bunch of good news for them. So it's just relief rallies in this case, right? But I
Mm.
mean, like it gives you like that's why I like sometimes to pay attention to different companies, even though sometimes I'm not invested in them. For example, like I'm paying like earning season starts on the 14th of October. I'm gonna be paying attention to ASML. I'm gonna be paying attention to Taiwan Semiconductors. I'm paying attention to what the banks have to say, even though I'm not in all the banks, but aggregating the information, it's pretty much they're doing research for you. You know what I mean? So why not take it in and just analyze and see what they say, right? So that's what I like about sort of paying attention to the different companies and different sectors because it gives you a hint, right? Like I'm very interested in home builders coming up, so that's going to be an interesting one for sure. But I want to know what crypto's like, what's happening in crypto. And I know that the people are definitely wanting to know what's happening in crypto because I mean, as of right this second,
Is
we
Bitcoin still
have
going?
Bitcoin at
$119,000.
$119,307. We have Ethereum
Yeah.
sitting at $4,398. XRP about to break $3. Solana at 226. And the question is does this
Mm-hmm.
rally continue to rally? Are we risk on or risk off? Because right now, all the horses are in the track.
I always, I mean, I've been saying this, I feel like I've been saying this for so long now, but stay grounded. Stay grounded. It's very exciting. It's really great to see. I know that even a week ago, everyone was so worried about where Bitcoin specifically was heading, because if Bitcoin falls, then it takes alts with it. Alts fall even more. But this is great. It's great to see what Bitcoin is doing. However, anytime Bitcoin is still under previous all-time high, which is 124,000, to me, it's still incorrect. The correction is still on the table. It's still on the table. At the moment, it will be in retest mode. So it has to retest a few certain key areas. So I would say, just looking at the chart really briefly, like 116,000, quite possibly. That, what is that, Timothy? Like on the 1 hour chart, I think that's a 200 EMA, or is that the 50 EMA? But anyway, it needs to retest a key level that was significant resistance. But overall, things are looking good. It wasn't as bearish as everyone had thought, but I think still let things play out. And the other thing I wanted to touch on in terms of crypto is that there's so much talk as well in terms of when alt season, where is alt season, what kind of alt season. And look, that's been on my mind for a very long time. And I think that, of course, we all have to agree that with the sheer number of tokens out there, there's just too many. And somebody asked this question the other day. Really good question is, obviously, where's the money going to come from? Where's the liquidity going to come from when there's all these tokens? And if Bitcoin, if there's alt season and ETH season, and how does it pull all alts up? And the thing is, the way to look at it is see crypto tokens as businesses, right? So you got a lot of startups in general that will be created and they will fail at some point. In the crypto space, it is like the business world, but just on steroids. You will see so many be created, so many die off, and it's more scalable. It's a lot quicker, and so in terms of liquidity, it's more so about where is the liquidity going to be parked? And what we're seeing is not so much alt season, but narrative season. So if you want to know which projects or tokens to invest in long term or even short term, look at the narratives. And what we've seen recently is, well, right at this very moment, so Zcash was up, 50% in the last 24 hours? So it's a privacy token. The privacy narrative is up. That's why you see Dash, which is also another old Dino coin, up 20% today, or something ridiculous. Those are the ones that I've been trading, very like day trading. But I think it's more so, let's stop saying when alt season and let's just say what is the narrative season now, because that is where that is where the liquidity is going to shift, and that's where you can make really good gains. And that's what I'm working on, and I share it with my private core community on Telegram. And if you want to be a part of that, we'll put a link in, in this
Yeah, give me
video.
the link. I'm more than happy to
Yeah,
share it
I
with
will.
people for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Timothy,
But
tell
thoughts,
me. Well, me,
Yeah.
Bitcoin to the moon.
Timothy?
Timothy, go. Timothy.
I like to share the cycle view because, of course, yeah, we still think it's likely that Bitcoin is in a 4-year cycle. And looking at the monthly chart, I mean, this is extremely well positioned for that final leg higher. And now I'm only talking Bitcoin. Of course, we'll talk altcoin later. But yeah, if you look at past cycles, we're in that time frame where Bitcoin is gonna have that last leg up higher. And yesterday I posted a blog about how Bitcoin performs when September is positive. So each time September is positive, on average, your Q4, so this quarter, can gain around 50%. So taking 50% from let's say where it opened here this month, that would bring Bitcoin at around 170k. So 170k is the average gain Bitcoin can have this quarter. So I'm not talking only October, but this is October, November. So basically the high in Q4. So that's really interesting because you would say that's a big number, but actually, in terms of how Bitcoin's price action has been in the past couple of cycles, this is very normal behavior. And yeah, when the dip happened, so these last few weeks, so when it touched 107k and 108k, I was actually thinking, okay, if this is gonna be like the other cycles, I want to be risk on. I want to be the one taking opportunity of this last dip higher. So I bought a lot of altcoins. I also did buy Bitcoin, of course, because Bitcoin remains, yeah, for me the dominant player. But I bought Ethereum. I bought more Avalanche. I bought more Hype because it was listed on Etoro. So I basically bought the dip on every strong altcoin I could find, just because I want to take the risk that this is gonna be one of the last legs higher for the cycle, and I would regret it more to miss this last move instead of, yeah, just trying to yeah, predict every correction and top and bottom. So now I'm just investing in some coins, and I'm gonna say for the next couple of 4 weeks, I'm just gonna do nothing with my portfolio, just hold and see where it brings me. And yeah, if the level is getting a bit overbought, I will start taking some profits, because yeah, that's basically the risk I want to take right now, and we're at the right time to do it. If Bitcoin, let's say, on the other side, takes out the all-time highs, but then fails to continue and actually starts to break down, let's say below 100k, I mean, that would be a red flag for me, and I would become very, very cautious for my altcoin positions. I might even sell them at a loss, just because altcoins are known to drop 90%. I just don't want to take the risk in that case to be holding coins that are, yeah, maybe not surviving the next 4 years. So for me personally, staying grounded with where we stand in the cycle, but also a bit cautious after, yeah, let's say Bitcoin taking out the highs and tumbling down below again. So, like you said, Mimi, I think once the high is taken out, that's a good sign. But it's also a sign for me, now it's up only, and if it's not up only and the market starts to dump, I'm getting more yeah, cautious.
Yeah, I really want to add to that as well, because I don't want to freak everybody out. If we see Bitcoin say go to 125, 126, and start coming down. What we also need to look at is Bitcoin dominance. So it's okay, even right now, for Bitcoin to kind of plateau at this level. It's okay for Bitcoin to come down a little bit, so long as Bitcoin dominance isn't going up, right? So let's just say, yes, okay, we make a slightly, we breach, we go to 125K for Bitcoin, then it starts falling, price starts falling. It all depends on Bitcoin dominance at that time. That's what I'll be watching, because historically what we've seen is that when alt season comes is when Bitcoin's that the spotlight is taken away from Bitcoin, which means Bitcoin stops rallying. We want to see Bitcoin lose steam, but also Bitcoin dominance to lose steam as well, if that kind of makes sense. That's when the liquidity will shift to the core narratives and the major altcoins. That's something to watch. Bitcoin dominance is very important to watch.
Okay. What are we sitting at right now? Based on
dominance is probably just over 58%. So under 55% is what I would like it to fall down to.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, 58%. There we go. Okay, yeah. By the way, just a couple of comments from the chat. Dimitri's is just like the S&P 500 went up 10% during the 2018-2019 shutdown with Trump, by the way. Still a little nugget right there. And
Nice.
yeah. And then Dragos was asking real quick. It's like, do you think adopting the two earnings what do you think about adopting the two earnings reports per year?
I hate it.
Yeah. I mean,
I would love to have reports every month, actually.
The more time,
it's
like
fuel for good stocks, and it's bad for
correct.
bad stocks, actually.
No, it's the truth. Like I find that like the less information you have about a stock, right, the harder it is to make a decision, right? Hire a couple of people, put a couple of AIs to make it a lot easier to do it, right? AI should make this process easier. We should actually get monthly reports with AI now, right? So
yeah,
some companies actually do that. Funny enough, Mara actually reports their Bitcoin production every month. Yeah, it's cool. It's very, very cool. So you can actually predict
nice.
what the actual earnings of the company were, because they just tell you. They literally just tell you. Sometimes the market is just like, oh, they're gonna miss, and it's like, what are you talking about? They just told you. What are you talking about? It's like it's crazy. So, but yeah, super cool, super interesting. Okay, quick and easy. What's on your desk, guys? What are you paying attention to October? It's a new quarter. It's a new month. What are you paying attention? Choose a couple. Tell me a couple. Tell me why you care. You know. So Timothy,
go first.
Yeah. So I'm watching Pump Fun. So I actually bought Pump Fun during the dip also a couple of days ago. Why are you laughing? I genuinely believe that people are still going to gamble their money away
Yeah,
for memes.
yeah.
And Pump Fun is the biggest, a platform where people can launch memes and they can live stream. Um, Pump Fun is getting a lot of attention and is being watched by, the New York Times even covered it when there was an earthquake in Bangkok. Someone was streaming with Pump Fun, so they took those images and showed it on the New York Times. So definitely not a amateur platform. So that's why I think Pump Fun is still a valid play for this cycle. They're also continuing to buy back their own tokens. So it's like the mechanism in stocks. You like stocks that are buying back shares if they are undervalued. You like stocks when they are paying dividends, and you're like stocks when they are earning a lot of money. And Pump Fund has the buybacks and has earnings, so they're really getting a lot of volume on the platform, and that's why I just hold it in my portfolio. A lot of people just track it, so they have it on their watch list. So that's why I think when there's a little bit of euphoria, we could see Pump Fund go hard. So yeah, that's the one on my desk. this week?
Yeah, mine is very, very recent, which is the privacy token narrative, which is why we saw Zcash, and also Dash resurrect from, the dead. But my main goal at the moment, other than other than being invested in, the OGs, is I'm going to chase narratives, as in I'm going to hunt. Chase is probably the wrong word. I'm going to hunt for key narratives, because if you have a combination of tokens that have been battle tested and have shown strength over time, add on the core narrative that will be in the spotlight, then those tokens are going to pump. That's what my focus is to hunt for those narratives and let my community know.
Nice. I have a couple. I'm paying attention to a couple of things. So interest rate sensitive companies, as the Fed starts to ease monetary policy, I'm paying attention to home builders. So there's a couple of ETFs, like leverage ETFs, that I'm paying attention to right now. I'm kind of down still on the trade, but I have a feeling that it's going to be the trade. Like it's going to actually do very well as the third quarter kind of plays out, right? October, November, because the less clarity we have makes it a little bit harder for the Fed, but I still think that they do have enough data to kind of like pull the interest rates down, at least in the next couple of meetings. The market is already pricing that in, and I think as we price more cuts down the line, interest rate sensitives are going to benefit, right? So that's your home builders, that's your mortgage companies. Pay attention to that sector, and even freaking treasury ETFs might actually benefit from this, right? So something to pay attention to for sure. Like long term, I have an interesting trade on long term, like 20 and 30 treasury bills ETFs that I'm paying attention to. So that's something I'm kind of keeping a close eye on. I think Mara is going to do really well too. I think Mara is just one deal away from hitting like 20 to 30 billion dollar market cap. It's a stock that likes to move really drastically, and if we have any bullishness in Bitcoin, the stock's going to
Yeah.
benefit. They hold around almost 53,000 Bitcoins right now, so they are benefiting from the current environment, and that's just free cash that they can just invest in data infrastructure and sort of like make that pivot to the AI sort of data center cloud revenue service. So something to pay attention to as well. But yeah, I mean, like it's going to be an interesting quarter for sure. And I think the story continues to develop. That is like, hey, the AI story is here. We're just at the early beginnings. We were just talking before the podcast started. It's like we're just breaking ground in some of these data centers, right? So it's like literally we're just shifting the ground underneath of what's going to be the build out going forward, right? And I think that this is a 5-10 year plan going.
Yeah.
So keep a close eye on this because it's going to be very, very interesting. And again, don't be afraid to take profits. It's like money in your pocket is better than money on the table any day of the week. So it's like, just, like right now, volatility is to the upside and it continues to be to the upside. We consolidated for a little bit, but again, anything can happen. Black swans do happen, and pay attention to that for sure. But yeah. So those are my takes, at least on that. Any rumors you guys want to talk about?
I mean,
Anything that's been going on that you want to sort of discuss?
no rumors, but something that's still been on my mind, and I know I mentioned this a while ago, and I still haven't done anything because I've been so busy, is getting into the humanoid robotics space. I think that in terms of AI and that sector for the next 5 years, it's a generational wealth play. And I just haven't had the time to really look into those companies or proper ones to really get into and invest in. But that's something on my to-do list for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting because a lot of them are private too. Like I think like who's the
Yeah.
biggest humanoid right now is what? Like you're either playing it with Samsung or you're playing it with Tesla, right? So I think
Tesla.
is Samsung the owner of Boston Dynamics? Who owns Boston Dynamics?
I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
need to. Don't. This is rumors. Like take this with a kilo of salt. I need to get my kilo hat. I swear to God. But it's like, yeah, I think somebody bought like a stake in Boston Dynamics. I'm not. It was a big company, but yeah. Anyway, that's something to pay
Yeah.
attention to for sure. Like research has to be there for sure because I mean it's coming at some point or another. I wonder how close we are. You know, I have a weird take on. I have a controversial take on robo taxis.
What's
I
that?
have I think they're not coming as fast as we think they are. I don't think so. I don't like. I think they're gonna take longer for the world to be 51% self driving. We're years away. We're years away.
Okay, but
No.
they're
I
very
think
useful.
hmm?
They're very useful. I
They
mean,
are. Don't get me wrong, but I think we're
it's
so
too
far away.
bad.
I think we're so far away. I think we are 10 years plus.
Based on like, is there
Based on
anything?
humans, we are just too stubborn. You know what I mean? Like if a robo taxi crashes, who do you blame? And the problem is because we have nothing to blame, we blame the whole world. And then we burn it. You know,
Mm,
it's like I just
mm,
policy and regulation is gonna be a pain in the ass. Like, right? Like even Uber has had issues for adoption, right? So
yeah.
they're massive. Don't get me wrong, and they managed to do a lot. But 51% of the cars on the road. I mean, I could be wrong. Like it's just like the more I go into it, the longer. And it's a controversial. I know it's controversial, and I want Elon to do like I want Elon to have it. You know, what I mean? I want Elon to be to figure this out, and I want the car to come pick me up and go drive itself to clean itself and fix itself, and I don't want to deal with it. But I think we're 10 years away. Like, could I buy it? Sure. You
Wow.
know, robotics in the industrial sense, I think is going to be faster. But having a robot in my house that does all the stuff for me, I think we're years away. Years away.
Wow. No,
It's
I think
super
we are so
controversial.
close. Yeah,
It's
no,
super
no, I get
controversial.
it. I think that for me, some like I've been in the tech space since I was 20. I think that it's going to come so much faster than we actually think. And for me, like, I know people think I live and breathe crypto every day, which I do, but I live and breathe AI and tech. And I am personally overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with the sheer amount of just like once I've learned something, there's a new upgrade. There's something different, and I just have to relearn
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, this is too much, which just goes to show that it's going to feel like it just happened overnight. It's going to be so fast. And robo taxis, like I actually understand the whole, yeah, if one crashes, then everyone who are people going to blame? But then again, people are really going to want to look at the statistics of a robo taxi crashing or a drunk human being. Like there are so many unknowns with a human driving a taxi than there would be, I would think, anyway, a machine or a robot. So that is a controversial take. Like 10 years. I mean, come on. I
Like it
think.
could
I
change.
think.
It could change. But what I'm seeing, it's like like I keep up with all of it. Like if it's
Yes.
public, I've seen it. And it's just like I see it and I'm like, "Ah," you know what I mean? I still haven't, it's like I still haven't gotten a self-driving American like Tesla. So the thing is just like I don't know how full, but for example, like even in the UK, you can't even access that. So it's like that's just regulation. That's just pain in the ass. Like I've lived in
Yeah.
India. I've lived in India. I've seen Indian roads. And like it will take like I understand in like the most perfect scenario, a robot coming in and taking over. But in Indian roads, I know what India's like. I've driven in India and I almost died. And I drove like a meter. You know, it's like insane, And like
Yeah.
I've raced. Like I used to race when I was younger. I was doing like karting. You know what I mean? So it's like I know how to drive. But wow.
Yeah.
Timothy, any takes you want to talk about? How are you doing with time, by the way?
Yeah, I just wanted to show my app that I created just very
Yes.
briefly because I also shared it in the Mimi community. And Mimi was talking about Zcash, and yesterday it was trending in the social media
Yes.
tab. So you can basically go use the app, and you'll see it's with different categories like trending narratives. You have AI, you have the meme coins, of course, and real world assets that are trending. And yeah,
Yeah. We'll
so
make sure to do an
the
episode.
link is still in Mimi's community. So go
Yeah.
check it out,
Yeah.
and you can use it for free actually.
Yeah.
And later on, me and Nestor, we will do like a full deep dive into the app, what's it all about, what how you can use it to make money. So that will come in the future.
Yes,
Yeah.
coming in soon rather
Nice.
than later. Yo, I want to throw something at you because I know you guys, you probably are hearing something. Yo, NFTs apparently are resurging. What is this? Like, this, if we see
Yes.
NFTs happening again, I'm selling. Yeah, if I, what's happening
Yeah.
here? What's happening here?
It's
Rumor
it's
mill,
it's
rumor mill.
it's I mean, I'm not into NFTs, but I know, I hear a lot about it, and it's coming back. It's coming back, and at some point it's going to die out again. So when you're hearing about it a lot, I would sell. I mean, like, look at Pengu, for example. Pengu is a crypto token, but pudgy penguins, and it's got its own NFT. Also an ETF possibly
And
coming out.
merch.
But yeah, what? Sorry.
They have merch selling in stores.
Merch, yeah, exactly. But NFTs are making a comeback. And
So the
NFTs are
thing
making a
with the
comeback.
comeback on NFTs is the Hype token. So the Hype project launched Hyperliquid project, which is a perp dex trading. And then for early user, they got gifted, airdropped some NFTs. And I saw one of the NFTs getting sold for 400K. And it's basically just a cat in the hyper liquid colors, so it's definitely getting there. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something to keep, it'd be interesting to say, to have the NFT index and seeing how NFTs are performing and how that compares to like altcoin mania sort of like
I think if you
rallies and
go
stuff. Because I
to
have a feeling like there is that
GoVernment,
there has to be some correlation between like altcoin, like it's like Bitcoin goes up and then altcoins go up and then NFTs goes up and then the whole market collapses. Something has to be like that. Or at least that's how I remember it last time. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not a crypto guy. I'm not a crypto guy.
you can check the trending words like Bitcoin on Google, but also for NFTs. So if you see people searching for NFTs, it's probably spiking and getting laid in the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Anything else you guys want to chat about?
I
Gotta
mean, that
go.
was it. I mean, my main thing really was just, alt season, narrative season, narrative
Okay.
season.
All
That's
right.
what we're hunting for.
Okay. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to share this with as many people as you can. You help us a ton. Thanks so much for 440 subscribers to the channel. You guys are awesome. And hopefully,
Copy us.
yes, make sure to check out down our portfolios and get ideas. It's not financial advice. Copy
No.
trading does account for, you can lose money if you copy us, but also we've been profitable. So it's nice. So pay attention, get some ideas. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and peace out.
Thank you.